1966 MGB GT. This is such an amazingly underrated car in the British car world. I think it's one of the most beautiful shapes and one of the most beautiful steering wheels. So much about this car, the metal dash, the AM radio, it just kind of captures a time in motoring that meant a lot to me and so many of our audience, so many of the people in our audience. So come for a drive with me today in a really special car. This is a cold start. I did just move it out of the shop, but basically it's been sitting for a day or two. This is a car that we've spent about $40,000 improving for two prior clients. One being a massive interior redo, including a new headliner, which is not a small feat, and the other being a Miata 5-speed upgrade. So, and everything else along the way to get there, you know, just other things were fixed on both of those two major jobs. So this is a really quite well sorted car. It's not a brand new restoration. Paint-wise, the paint is an older respray. The rocker panels are new anyway in the last 5 or 8 years or something like that. But if you like a car with a little bit of patina that's really well sorted with an amazing interior and one of the few crinkle dashes that's original that still looks really good. A lot of these are really worn. They're worn from keychains. This one does have a small piece of tape here, which I hadn't even noticed originally, but it's to hide, you know, you folks out there with these big keychains, they can damage your British car. So we're not a big fan of those, but this is low impact and that's desired. Anyway, the car has a lot going for it, and I hope that comes across in this driving video. It has a really nice exhaust note. And it has a buttery smooth Miata transmission. And it's a fully synchronized gearbox, so first gear is fully synchronized. And the rear wheel cylinders were replaced a few years ago. The brake hoses and slave cylinder. I mean, there's just a ton of new stuff that went into this car. So whoever ends up with it gets all these nice investments made by prior owners. There, for example, is a shift into first gear at a roll, which would not have been available in most classic British cars. Let's see what's going on here. The fifth gear overdrive makes highway driving a delight, and the tires are really just nice plush riding Michelins. The rims are recent, in nice shape. I think they were new a few years ago for the last owner. This car was owned by a friend of mine from 1998 until around 2024 when we bought it from him. And then we sold it, and before 24, he had us do the interior. So he had us redo it in the early 20s, and then we bought it from him after that, and then sold it to a new client about 2 years ago, and he's the one that got the 5-speed added. You'll see the car is super tight. The handling is excellent. It's nice to have this big wheel because you get a lot of leverage, and also a very nice balance. I'm not a big fan of these super small steering wheels on these old English cars because I do think the design, I mean, this is a massive wheel. It's probably 17 inches, but the design of the wheel and the steering input required, it blends perfectly. This is also a new steering rack that we added for the prior customer. The overdrive switch, by the way, is just a filler, a decorative switch like the radio. The overdrive is all right here in the fifth gear. So you can quiet this car down nicely in fifth. That's at 45 miles an hour. So fifth is not only for the highway, it's a nice feature even around town. But I think overall, hi, just make sure the horn works for you. Overall, if you can buy a car in the $26,000 range that's had $40,000 invested in it, you're smart. I wish it was always that way. It's rare to find that kind of math in British car world, but if you've invested heavily in a British car, you know that sometimes happens. You can't always recoup your investment, and the next owner enjoys those upgrades. This is a positive ground car with a single battery upgrade, a 12 volt. When they were new, it was two 6-volt batteries. It's difficult to get really good longevity out of that setup, so quite common to change these to a single 12-volt battery, and that's what's been done here. I believe it's about a 2 or 4-year-old 12-volt battery, so it still seems to be in good order. This is the original and very beautiful petite rear view mirror, and it's been supplemented by a nice door mirror that has a good period look about it. I think the other thing that's special about these cars is I love having shade. It's a little bit quieter than an open roadster, and then of course the storage in a GT, you know, you go to the grocery store to do errands and you throw everything in the hatchback, and it's dare I say, it's kind of modern in its utility. A lot more useful than, you know, an MGA, for example, where I'm constantly putting things on the footwell, in the passenger footwell. In my Bug Eye, I'm often lifting the passenger seat bottom just to make a little bit more room. And this hatchback is quite a dream for carrying stuff. So we have a really good, strong engine. The early 5-main bearing 66B engines were the highest horsepower. These carburetors were rebushed, and as part of one of these big services I was talking about. So it has new throttle shaft bushings, which makes them nice and tight. So just a ton of good stuff about this car, and it's also a shape, like the style and aesthetic of this car is just so gorgeous and kind of understated but elegant. So I'm a huge fan, as you can tell. I have one of these in my own personal collection, so I have a bit of a bias, and that's what I wanted to show you today. Nice idle, it's idling smoothly, fuel gauge works, temperature's right, oil pressure's at 60 after it's warmed up. So we've got all the numbers where we want them to be on a really nice car. We have the fan and wipers, the washer pump, the choke, the headlights are here, and panel dimming lights, a dummy switch I mentioned, heater control, ashtray, awesome. And this, which is so cute, it only works when the parking lights or headlights are on. Everybody always says, hey, it doesn't work, but it has to be fed power. That's it for our video today. Thank you for driving with me in one of my favorite non-Bug Eye cars, the MGB GT, and in particular a metal dash chrome bumper GT, something that's become so rare, especially to find one with solid floors and solid rockers. In this case, they've been replaced, so we're happy to have that. And that's what we have today from Bug Eye Guys.